Good morning, my name is Nosara Alia binti Nazaruddin. I'm excited to speak with you about an increasingly critical issue facing hiring managers, recruiters and HR professionals across industry, which is the growing gap in soft skills among job candidates. Now, when we talk about hiring, our minds often go straight to technical qualification, which is degrees, certification, hard skill and of course, those are important. But in today's fast evolving collaborative and often remote workplaces, how someone works with others is just as important as what they know. That's where soft skills comes in. Things like clear communication, emotional intelligence, adaptability, problem solving and teamwork. These are the capabilities that help people navigate complex interpersonal dynamics, lead effectively and adjust to and change. In other words, soft skills are what allow technical skills to be applied in meaningful and productive ways. Before we go any further, it's important that we all know on the same page about what we actually mean when we talk about soft skills. Soft skills are often described as non-technical interpersonal and cognitive abilities, things that shape how people interact, how they communicate, how they solve problems, and even how they handle stress or manage time. They aren't tied to a specific tool, platform, or area or expertise, but instead influence how a person applies what they know in work environment. Some of the most commonly discussed soft skills include effective communication, emotional intelligence, adaptability, critical thinking, collaboration, and leadership. This may sound abstract, but their impact is very tangible. Think about how essential it is for someone to listen actively during a team meeting, give or receive constructive feedback, gracefully take initiative, stay composed during change, or simply get along with diverse group of co-workers. Now, let's take closer look at the issue we're dealing with because the numbers are both striking and telling. Recent surveys consistently show that 75% of employers consider soft skills just as important as hard skills when evaluating candidates. That's 3 out of every 4 hiring managers who are actively looking for qualities like communication, adaptability, and emotional intelligence, not just technical proficiency. Yet, despite that emphasis, around 14% of employers say that struggle to find candidates who demonstrate strong soft skills. So, we have a clear mismatch between what organizations need and what candidates are bringing to the table. So, what's going wrong here? The problem isn't that people lack talent of intelligence. In fact, many candidates are incredibly capable when it comes to technical tasks. They got the degrees, the certification, the portfolio, but when it comes time to lead a team, communicate across department or navigate conflict, those same individuals often struggle. And this gap has only widened in recent years. With the rise of remote and hybrid work model, soft skills are under more pressure than ever. Clear communication, time management, self-discipline, and emotional self-awareness have become critical just to stay functional in distributed teams. These skills can't be taken for granted anymore. They're front and center. And it's especially challenging for early career talents. Many recent graduates enter the workforce without having had the chance to build soft skills in real-world setting. Internship, team projects, even customer-facing part-time jobs. These opportunities help people practice collaboration, leadership, and feedback handling. Without them, those skills often remain undeveloped. So, let's ask the key question. Why are soft skills so often missing in today's talent pool? There's no single cause, but several interconnected factors are contributing to this growing gap. One of the most fundamental issues is in our education system. From primary school through university, the overwhelming focus tends to be on technical learning, math, science, coding, testing. While these are undoubtedly important, they leave very little space for the structured development of soft skills. Students are rarely taught how to navigate group dynamics, lead a discussion, resolve interpersonal conflict, or practice empathy. And And when those experiences do occur, say in group project, they often instructed while little feedback on how collaboration was managed. In other words, soft skills are expected but not formally thought of measure. Then, when we have the issue of early career exposure, many young professionals are entering the workforce with limited opportunities to practice real-world interpersonal skill. Internships are more competitive than ever, and part-time work is often isolated or task-driven. That means less time spent on project-based teamwork, leadership experience, or learning how to give and receive feedback constructively. And finally, we need to look at our hiring system. Many recruitment processes are still heavily weighted toward that can be easily quantified: degree, certification, years of experience, and technical tasks. These metrics are useful, but they don't paint the full picture. Soft skills are much more harder to measure on a resume and often get overlooked entirely during early screening stage. And the consequences of soft skill deficiency aren't theoretical. They are playing out in real, tangible way across organizations. When we hire candidates based solely on technical skill and overlook their interpersonal abilities, the cracks start to how quickly poor team dynamic emerge, collaboration slow down, communication becomes strained or misaligned. Team may struggle to move project forward efficiently, not because people don't know what to do, but because they can't work together effectively to do it. In this situation, new hires often have a harder time finding their footing. They may be brilliant in their technical domain, but if they can't ask questions confidently, give updates clearly, or understand team norms, their contributions are limited. This leads to longer onboarding periods, more hand-holding from managers, and in many cases, additionally training costs to compensate for those soft skill gaps. And then there's the issue of cultural fit. Employees who lack emotional intelligence or self-awareness may unintentionally disrupt team cohesion. They might avoid feedback, resist collaboration, or misread workplace dynamic, leading to friction of disengagement. Over time, this can result in higher turnover rates, especially when employees feel isolated or when teams become frustrated by ongoing communication challenges. By beyond individual performance, this gap affects the broader organization. Innovation suffers when people can't brainstorm effectively, challenge ideas respectfully, or build on each other's input. Decision making slows down when teams struggle to align or clarify priorities, and operational friction increases. Small misunderstanding escalate, trust encode, the time is wasted clarifying or correcting basic communication failures. Let's now turn to application. How can we eventually use this knowledge during recruitment to improve hiring outcomes? The good news is that we are no longer limited to instinct or guesswork when it comes to evaluating soft skills. There are now a variety of structured tools and techniques that help us assess this competency with more consistency and reliability. For starters, personality inventory like the MBTI, DISC, or Big Five assessment can give us valuable insight into a candidate's preferred working style, communication tendency, and stress response. While these tools aren't predictive on their own, they offer a helpful starting point for conversation around team fit and work habits. Then we have situational judgment tests, which present candidates with realistic workplace scenario and ask how they would respond. This tests reveal judgment, empathy, adaptability, and ethical reasoning. Similarly, group task simulation, such as role plays or collaborative challenges, can demonstrate real-time communication, leadership, and problem-solving dynamic in a way that interview alone cannot. Speaking of interviews, behavioral interviewing remains one of the most effective tools at our disposal, especially when using structured framework like STAR rather than asking vague questions. We are prompting candidates to reflect on specific experience where to soft skill play a key role. Their response help us evaluate authenticity, accountability, and how they actually handle challenges in the past. On the cutting edge, we also seen the use of AI enhanced tool of analysis candidate response in video interviews. These tools evaluate not just what a person say, but they say it, assessing tone, clarity, engagement, and even misaspiration. While this tool should always be used ethically and in combination with human judgment, they can add another dimension to our understanding. So, what we can do strategically to bridge the soft skill gap and make meaningful change? First, let's start by reforming our hiring criteria. Instead of simply focusing on technical expertise, we need to incorporate role-specific soft skill benchmark. Every role has its own unique sets of soft skills that drive success, so it's crucial to identify what behavior are required for performance. Second, we should build stronger partnership with educational institutions. It's time to encourage college and university to integrate workplace readiness into their curricula. This doesn't mean abandoning technical training, but rather embedding soft skill development into programs. Courses on communication, emotional intelligence, conflict resolution, and team dynamics would go a long way in preparing graduates for the demand of the modern workforce. Finally, we must invest in leadership development pipelines that emphasize emotional intelligence, people skill, and interpersonal effectiveness, not just operational know-how. Strong leaders are those who can inspire, motivate, and support their teams. They listen, communicate effectively, manage conflict, and exhibit empathy. By prioritizing this skill in leadership development programs, we are not strengthen our leadership teams, but also create a culture where soft skills are valued and cultivated at every level. To wrap up, let's reflect on the bigger picture. Soft skills are no longer just a nice to have, they are essential. In today's world, where teamwork, adaptability, and communication are pivotal to success, soft skills are the foundation upon which resilient, collaborative, and high-performing teams are built. The current soft skill gap we are facing isn't just about individual candidates falling short, it's about a systematic issue that spans education, hiring practices, and organizational development. It's about how we prepare our workforce, how we assess candidates during recruitment, and most importantly, how we invest in human potential over the long term. We need to shift our mindset. It's not enough to only hire for technical expertise and hope that the rest will come. We need to actively develop the natural soft skill at every stage, from education to hiring to continuous career growth. The process needs to be internationally informed by research and deeply embedded in the way we approach talent acquisition and workforce development. As talent acquisition professionals, we have a unique opportunity and responsibility to lead the charge in closing this gap by rethinking our hiring strategies, adopting more comprehensive assessment methods, and fostering a culture of ongoing development. We can not only address this skill gap but also build stronger, more adaptable organizations. This is not just about hiring better candidates, it's about shaping a future-ready workforce, a workforce that can thrive in any increasingly dynamic, collaborative, and sometimes unpredictable environment. And in doing so, we can ensure our organization are more resilient, innovative, and positioned for success. Thank you for your time, and I hope this presentation has inspired you to take action in closing the soft skill gap within your own team and organization.